Looking ahead. As I said at the outset, these are daunting challenges. But they are not insurmountable. Good progress has been made in phasing out energy subsidies. All oil exporters have raised domestic prices, with many committing to do more. Oil importers have also made progress. Egypt, for example, has committed to further energy reform in its program supported by the IMF. Tunisia is also reforming its energy subsidies, which has bequeathed the government 1% of GDP in fiscal savings which it can now deploy for priority spending such as social protection. The bottom line is that the region is off to a promising start on energy subsidies, but there is still a long way to go, especially by depoliticizing fuel price setting and introducing automatic pricing mechanisms. The second reform area relates to reducing pressure on the public wage bill. This will include better aligning wage levels with those prevailing in the private sector and moving away from the embedded system of state patronage. If done right and with the right social protections, this could help unleash greater innovation and ingenuity in the private sector, tapping into the amazing potential of your young people. But wage bill reforms should be conducted carefully and strategically. They should take place within a broader expenditure policy agenda, linked to deliverable social goals, including the Sustainable Development Goals. They should be as equitable as possible, and include early social impact analyses. And they should take place within the broader context of diversifying the economy, reducing corruption, strengthening social protection, and making the business environment more conducive to the creation of decent, well-paying jobs. There is also scope to improve the efficiency of spending. These gains can be significant. In health, for example, worldwide spending inefficiencies subtract more than 2 years from healthy life expectancy. Reducing them by 10% gets you the same benefit as boosting spending by 0.7% of GDP. In this region, there is a lot of scope for doing better in this area, especially in countries like Saudi Arabia and Egypt. In education too, there are big efficiency gaps in countries like Oman, Mauritania, and Egypt. The same holds true for public investment. In this region, the public investment efficiency gap, a measure of the value lost due to inefficiencies in the investment process, is estimated to be more than 20% in countries like Jordan and Mauritius. We believe that strengthening public investment management practices could close up to 2/3 of the efficiency gap. Our analysis also suggests that reducing public investment inefficiencies in the GCC to the levels of best performing countries could save over 2% of GDP each year. The bottom line is that increasing the efficiency of spending will also free up resources to devote to health, education, and social protection. This is a win-win, a way to reduce poverty and inequality without boosting overall spending. In this context, I should note that the IMF has been researching how fiscal policies can promote inclusive growth and reduce inequality. Our last fiscal monitor, for example, looked at practical ways of reducing inequality, touching on progressive taxation, investment in health and education, and the pros and cons of a universal basic income. I should note that there are some promising angles when it comes to improving spending efficiency. One is digitalization, which can help countries deliver public services more effectively at lower cost. Think about better identification and authentication systems, such as biometric technology. Just to give some examples, in India, the transfer of social benefits to biometrically linked bank accounts was crucial to reducing leakage from subsidies, while in South Africa, moving to a biometrically secured debit card for social transfer payments greatly reduced fraud and corruption. Another important area entails strengthening governance and improving public financial management. And of course, I would not close my remarks without recommending gender budgeting. Overall, I am convinced that with the right reforms in the right context and with the right protections, fiscal policy will be able to support your vital economic and social goals. Conclusion. Let me conclude by reiterating my optimism. The challenges of the Arab region may be great, but so is the potential of its people and the determination of its economic leaders. As the Arabic proverb puts it, man jada wajid wa man zara a hasad, who toils succeeds and who plants reaps. Remember, the Arab nations once led the world in the pursuit of knowledge, in scientific innovation, and indeed in the idea that inclusion, fairness, and decency are the hallmarks of civilization. I believe firmly that this is not only your legacy, but also your destiny, so that the legitimate aspirations of your young people might find legitimate expression in an economy that works for all. And as you walk the road of reform, a road that might not always be as smooth and straight as we all would like, I pledge to you that you have an enduring friend and partner in the IMF. We will walk the road with you. We will share the journey.